wasn't until 2020 that I actually sat down and watched Texas Chainsaw.
All right, how do I turn this off?
All right, here we are. Wednesday
What is
night.
up?
Good to see everybody.
Oh, yeah. Nighttime.
Yeah, well, it's it's evening, late afternoon, evening. 7 p.m. here, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, and whatever time it is where you're watching this, we are the Screaming Room and slow news week.
Yeah. What's up, brother? How was your week?
My week was pretty good. I saw Cuckoo.
Oh, you did? Sweet.
Yeah,
we can talk about that.
We can talk about Cuckoo. We're probably
going
to
you hate on it.
Huh?
I said, and here you hate on it.
I was not hating on it. Everybody wants to say it is. It's not hate. It's just I've seen
critique.
It's critique, and I've seen this movie. I've seen this movie already. Done better.
Cuckoo?
And yes.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. Let's get to some of the news stuff first.
Okay, we will get to the new stuff.
I'm curious to go down that rabbit hole.
But I saw Cuckoo, and I'm seeing Alien Romulus this weekend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Stoked about that. I really need it to be good. I really need this movie to be good.
I'm telling you right now, like, there are going to be things that both of us are probably like, I wish they hadn't quite made that choice. It won't be a perfect movie, but we're going to both dig it. Like,
I hope so.
Everybody I trust, everybody. Like, it's crazy how many people that are truly trust that are not just trying to hype the movie that are saying, dude, this is the best sequel since Aliens.
I hate praise like that. I just don't trust
but these aren't people that are hyping it up. And so that's what makes me think it's actually going to be good. Okay. I don't know if it'll be that, you know what I mean? Like, that's the high bar, but I think we're both going to be like, yeah, it was a good time. I think I'll be higher on it than you because it's kind of the way it usually works.
That's the dynamic that we have.
Yeah, but I would be shocked, dude, if we're not like, dude, that was a cool movie.
So I'm stoked about that. And then what's coming out after that?
I'm going to see a brand new one tonight that like nobody's talking about. It's called Strange Darling. And the only person I've seen talk about it is I saw Spooky Astronaut, her YouTube channel. I saw her actually do a review of it today, which surprised me because I haven't heard anyone talk about it. I had like 2 people comment saying, hey, are you going to review Strange Darling? I was like, what the hell is that? And so I like looked it up and I was like, oh shit, this looks pretty cool. And it's actually playing in a theater near me. So I was like, and then tonight, they're doing a special screening. And so I got into that, and it's basically in a live broadcast Q&A with the director.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is pretty cool. I don't know if I'll bother asking questions or not, or just kind of be a fly on the wall, but yeah. So it looks cool though. It's like it looks like it's, I don't know exactly. The trailer doesn't spell it out exactly, but it looks like it's basically this girl who baits in serial killers and then gets them and like kills them.
Nice.
So she's almost like a Dexter.
Okay.
But not like, it doesn't seem like she's a serial killer. It's more of she's a vigilante. You know what I mean?
I dig it.
Yeah, but it looks fun. So,
where I'm trying to find, I got my news pulled up, but I don't have my,
yeah. So
I don't have my trailer pulled up.
So we're going to be talking about, here we're going to be talking about Netflix ordering a Ghostbusters animated series. We're going to talk about two Halloween video games. And one of them is actually attached to an Evil Dead. So it's like a Halloween Evil Dead game. So it's like a combination of the both. And then we're going to watch the new trailer for Front Room and then talk about James Wan to direct Black Lagoon, Creature from the Black Lagoon. So,
which I am cautiously optimistic for that.
yeah, I'm not sure he would be. I guess we could just start there. I'm not sure if he would be my choice. Like, I love the idea of remaking that. Like, it's one of the few that hasn't been touched, and I've never really I mean, there was what's it called a few years ago that Guillermo del Toro did the what was it? It was kind of like a Creature in the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about.
The
Academy Award. I'm spacing on the name of it, but
yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
There was that, and a lot of people say that's basically Creature in the Black Lagoon remake. I don't really agree. It's like that was pretty different, to be honest. I mean, it was kind of like if you take Creature in the Black Lagoon and then the sequel, The Creature Walks. If you were to take those two and smash them together, it's kind of like that. But I would like to see an actual faithful re-envisioning of it, where it's, I just don't know if I would pick James Wan.
Yeah, I don't know if I would pick him either. Why? Chat, help us out. What was that Guillermo del Toro Creature of the Black Lagoon type movie that won that award? Because we are both blanking, and I don't have the patience to look it up on IMDb. But yeah, I don't know. James Wan he's been so hit and miss with me. I think he's a really good producer.
He's been hit and miss. What have you not liked from his catalog?
I haven't liked anything. So I liked Saw, but I did not like. So I thought The Conjuring was okay. I didn't like anything
Shape of Water.
The first Conjuring. Shape of Water. Okay, Shape of Water. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you. Shape of Water. I did not like anything past the first Conjuring, and then he didn't direct, but he produced The Purge, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Is I am a fan of his when he directs. Unfortunately, it's easy for a lot of people to kind of get confused now because he produces a lot of movies.
He produces
ones
a lot
that have
of
not
movies.
been very good.
Right.
So it's like, if you look at the movies he's actually directed, I think he's way more hit than he has missed. But see, you didn't like Malignant. Whereas
I did not like Malignant. Yeah.
I loved Malignant.
Oh, and he also directed Aquaman.
The first two Conjurings. Yeah, he did both Aquaman, but those are big those are big Disney, and like I feel like his element of it I thought was well done. Like, they're both well directed.
So
they're just not my cup of tea.
I'm looking at his IMDb. I liked Saw. I like Dead Silence.
Wow, you do?
Oh yeah.
I would have assumed, especially with not like a Malignant, I would have assumed, because Malignant, what I liked about it is it reminded me of kind of going back to Dead Silence kind of feel of James Wan.
I don't know how you get that. I don't get it.
Dude, it's that same campy early 2000s type of like dark what is it? Dark Castle movies.
But
like
Dead Silence
feels like that.
But Dead Silence took itself seriously and it kind of had that camp, ventriloquist doll, kind of flavor to it, but it took itself seriously and it wasn't trying to be a joke. I felt Malignant was trying to be a joke that took itself seriously.
No, I don't I didn't get that. I thought it was exactly the same, where it was taking everything serious, but there was a lot of camp built into it. Like I said, it was very reminiscent of Dark Castle, especially the way that it was shot.
Well, so I like Dead Silence. I liked the first half. I liked the first half of Insidious, and then did not like Insidious Chapter 2. Did not like The Conjuring 2. Did not like Aquaman for obvious reasons. Didn't like Malignant.
You didn't like The Conjuring 2?
No.
Wow, dude. I think it's better than the first one.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. It just wasn't for me. I didn't like it.
I mean, The Conjuring 3 was crap, but he only produced that one.
Right. But yeah, he's produced, oh my God, he's produced like over 60 movies, and he's only directed.
But he's got Atomic Monster, so it's almost like you can't count producing anymore against him because it's a full-fledged company. It's like and now it's merged with Blumhouse. So it's even more like
Right.
You know, like they produce Night Swim, but it's like it's hard to really hold stuff like that against them when it's a production company. There's lots of people making decisions there. I think he's much more of a money person than he is like creatively involved.
Yeah. No, I get that. So, I mean, that's why I said I'm cautiously optimistic about this. So, I can read the news article if we want. Let me pull it up here.
I think he's a good fit in the fact that he has proven that he can make a good horror PG-13 movie. Because that's a tough thing to do. And
I
Creature in the Black Lagoon doesn't need to be R-rated. Like that's one of those properties where there's no reason for it to be R-rated. Kind of like Frankenstein. Like you could do that as well and not go R-rated with it and have a good movie.
I would agree with that. So this is from Bloody Disgusting. James Wan in talks to direct Creature from the Black Lagoon movie for Universal. It says, while frequent collaborator Lee Wannell works on bringing the Wolfman back to life, we've learned via Deadline today. Sorry? What'd you say?
It's Lee Wannell.
Oh, Wannell. Sorry.
Yeah.
Lee Wannell. Via Deadline today that James Wan is in early talks to direct a new take on horror classic Creature from the Black Lagoon for Atomic Monster and Universal Pictures. Deadline notes in today's report, James Wan is developing a grounded, modernized retelling that leans into visceral horror whilst paying respect to the original classic. I mean, that's good. Unlike fellow Universal monster classics, including Frankenstein, Wolfman, and Dracula, the Creature from the Black Lagoon hasn't been the subject of countless remakes over the years. Which makes it ripe for revival here in the present day. Guillermo del Toro's Oscar winner, The Shape of Water, look, it's right here in the article. Should have read the article first. Bad host. Was heavily influenced by the classic tale, though not an official adaptation. Directed by Jack Arnold, the original Creature from the Black Lagoon came along 2 decades after Universal established themselves as horror powerhouses in the 1930s. Released in 1954, it was followed by sequels Revenge of the Creature and The Creature Walks Among Us, with various planned remakes over the years, failing to ever see the light of day. Filmmakers approached for various unmade creature projects over the year include John Carpenter, that would have been good, Peter Jackson, that would have been good, Ivan Reitman, and Breck Eisner, to name just a few. It's interesting to note that James Wan had recently intended to direct an Aquaman spin-off horror movie titled The Trench, but that project will ultimately fell apart. It seems his upcoming Creature from the Black Lagoon movie will allow Wan to finally scratch that aquatic horror itch. You're probably going to have to read the rest of the articles from now on. My brain and mouth are not connected right now. So that's it. So
just slow down. Just slow it down.
I just got to slow down. But that's what we got. So
I would almost prefer Lee Wannell to make a Creature in the Black Lagoon. I have a lot of faith that Wolfman is going to be really good. Because, I thought his version of Invisible Man was fantastic.
Oh, the one that came out in 2020?
Yeah. Because it's like he took that same property, but did a totally unique type of movie from it. It wasn't like, it's because it's one of those things like the Psycho remake. Like, why bother remaking a classic if you're gonna just shot for shot remake it? That just doesn't work. So if you're gonna do a remake, you gotta like make it your own, make it unique. Like that whole studio speak where they're like a modern day, blah blah blah. It sounds like basically a woke version. Like a woke version.
Every time I hear modern reimagining, I automatically because I have to. That's what every single one of these movies. Speak. Whatever. It's still like even if it's studio speak, as soon as you hear a modern reimagining, it's just going to be some garbage that they're not going to care about what the actual script is.
But why I say that's studio speak is because that's nothing to do with James Wan. Like, we don't know what he's planning on doing. Like, he didn't write that stuff. That's basically a studio rep or whoever that's leaking this story is what they're saying. I think we're starting to, it's why I'm excited about Alien Romulus, as I feel like Fede Alvarez gets it. Like, he gets doing a modern day reimagining of classic properties, because he gets, what made those originals so amazing, and then he just makes his own like chapter in that space.
I guess, but what does modern reimagining mean? Like, you could just say an original take. Like, when you're saying modern reimagining, when you're making movies for a modern audience, first of all, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And secondly,
that's why I'm saying that's studio speak. That's that's representative talking. Saying the PC whatever line. Like, it's not it. If that was an interview from James Wan, or I mean from Lee or from James Wan,
James Wan.
that would be different. But that's just it's garbage, dude. It's it's what they always. It's just how they word it.
Okay,
but I agree. I hate that terminology and that way of looking at it. Like, just like, why does it have to be a modern day version of this shit? Like you said, just make a original movie. Like, make a unique movie.
Just tell an original story.
Yep.
Boozy says, when they said Carpenter was attached to Black Lagoon remake, I was envisioning The Thing underwater. That would be awesome.
I don't want to see him. If he makes a
maybe
movie,
not anymore.
I want him. But like, if he makes another movie, which I hope John Carpenter makes like at least one more movie, but if he does, it's got to be an original thing.
Yeah.
Like, if he attaches himself to some IP, it's going to just be him getting a paycheck, and it's going to be god awful.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like, if he does something, it's got to be something that he is passionate about, like he is his music. Like, he's actually passionate about his music. And that's why his last couple movies weren't good. It's because you could tell, dude, he was just getting a paycheck.
He's just getting a paycheck. He's just phoning it in. Yeah,
that's why I love that he retired and was honest about it. And he didn't because he could still be getting fat checks to like be attached to movies. He could easily, people would definitely.
That's a good way to go out.
At him.
Just go out on top. Be a legend.
Yep. It's like so many people don't realize that, like rock stars, athletes, like they stay around way longer than they should. It's like,
don't Motley Crue your career.
Yeah.
Sorry to any Motley Crue fans out there. So speaking of Motley Crue in your career, Ghostbusters might have a new animated series.
Yeah, which I love, because I don't know about you. I guess you're probably a little too young, but I loved the cartoon. I actually loved the cartoon long before the movies.
I have not seen the cartoon. That's something I gotta find and watch. But
it's cool because it like builds out the lore quite a bit more. And it's what they were trying to do with this last Ghostbusters, is trying to lean more into the cartoon by broadening the team, like adding a bunch of new people into the team, because that's kind of what the real Ghostbusters TV or cartoon was. It was like this kind of a whole team of people that would do and it was fun.
I would be
curious to see what they do with this.
I would be interested in seeing like original stories and stuff like that with new team members and, like episodic Ghostbusters stuff. I think that'd be great. I love the concept of Ghostbusters, that they're these like street level blue collar scientists that are, responding to paranormal activity. And I just think that's such a great concept. And, not everything has to be apocalyptic, Yep. And so,
I think the worst problem. I 100% agree. And I think the worst problem with this last one was it's at a point now where it's like, dude, you gotta stop with fan service. Like, quit bringing back these old men and trying to force a way for them to be in the movie. It's like, it made no sense to me. It made sense in not the last one, but the one before that. I forget the name of it now, but it made sense in that one because we hadn't had a Ghostbusters, and it was trying to basically do a sequel from like the original 3 or 2, right?
Yeah. Stop with the member berries.
Yeah. But it was like, I got it with that one because it's like, let's hand off the baton from the original cast into this new version, right? But everybody showed you that they liked this new cast. Like the movie did great. So then make the new one with that new cast and don't, if you want to keep Dan Aykroyd, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but Bill
You
Murray is
want to keep
obviously
one
not in
character.
it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
he does
Bill
not give a
Murray.
shit.
Yep. He was the thing that made me groan the most because it's like,
Yeah.
he was so fucking forced into this.
He looked bored. Like he looked like
Yep.
he didn't want to be there. His line delivery was so flat and shitty, so
It's actually what I'm worried about with Beetlejuice a little bit.
Dude, every time
Michael
I see
Keaton gonna be the center of the movie again, like the original Beetlejuice, or is he gonna be kind of mostly there for fan service? And I'm like, dude, if you do that, like,
every time I
you
see
can't do that with Beetlejuice. It's literally his name. The movie's named after that character.
Every time I see new content from the new Beetlejuice movie, I lose faith. I lose faith. It looks super rushed. Like that's what it looks like to me. It looks like this movie was rushed. I don't know what the story is. I haven't been following it. I could be completely wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be. But when I saw it, I was like, man, this looks rushed. But anyway, so back to Ghostbusters. So again, from Bloody Disgusting, originally announced 2 years ago, a brand new Ghostbusters animated series has been officially given the green light over at Netflix this week. The website from Variety. The website notes in their report, in addition, Variety has learned that Elliot Callan has boarded the project as writer, showrunner, and executive producer. Elliot Callan served as the head writer for Netflix's version of the classic series Mystery Science Theater 3000. He was also formerly a writer for The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Exact plot details are still under wraps, but sources say the 3D animated series will be tonally in line with the recent Ghostbusters films. Jason Reitman will produce for Sony Pictures Animation. The Ghostbusters franchise has, of course, made a mark on the world of animation in the past with The Real Ghostbusters in the 80s and Extreme Ghostbusters in the 90s. James, Bill Murray was just so out of place. It was almost embarrassing, except, he got a pretty big paycheck. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
And that's exactly what it felt like. Was
Puppy Love wants to know if I like any damn thing. Yes, I do actually, and we will talk about things that I like. I think I just said I liked Ghostbusters, but yes, I do like things. Don't worry, we will talk about them. Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm worried Beetlejuice is going to feel very. I don't know if I would say it looks rushed. Because it does have everybody involved, Tim Burton, like the whole cast, like it's they brought everybody back. So like, I feel like it's got the right ingredients. And I believe they had quite a bit of time to make it. The issue is because it was in like pre-production talks or whatever for like a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, like over 10 years, I believe, is when Tim Burton first started talking about possibly making a sequel. So it just looks like I don't know if Tim Burton has it anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just looks to me like it's going to feel too much like a lot of these movies that make modern day sequels where it's just fan service is just, like the trailer looks like they're just trying to shove every little cameo and everything from the first movie, and the story doesn't look all that like, I don't know, original, but I guess how original can it be when it's a sequel? So
I think you can have an original story with a sequel. Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
I know that's like the gold standard, but like you can do it. Back to the Future 2, Aliens.
Yeah,
right?
But I also think that we're maybe expecting too much when it comes to like, this isn't like the thing about Back to the Future 2 is it was made by the people in their prime. Like they did those back to back and they were on the top of their game. Tim Burton is long past the top of his game. Besides the TV show, what's it called? the Addams Family one. I'm spacing on it, but besides that, he hadn't done anything in many years that people had been stoked on.
Yeah, I think Mew Medic said the last thing he did was Corpse Bride.
Yeah, that people were stoked on. That's like
Wednesday.
20 years. Yeah, people love Wednesday. So maybe, like, I haven't watched Wednesday. It's one of those, like, I just never got around to watching.
I have no interest in it.
But I've heard only good things about it. Like, people absolutely love it. So maybe, you know, that's a sign. And I think that's what most people are kind of counting on, is that, hey, he did this series and it was really good. So maybe he does still have it in him to make a good Beetlejuice 2.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. It's coming out. We'll see. So next thing we can talk about for the gamers out there, there's 2 new Halloween video games in the works from the Evil Dead the game developers, and
we should pull up the trailer for this.
It should be in here. Nope. Yeah. I'll pull up the trailer. Again, from Bloody Disgusting. The Shape is making his way back to video games. IGN has reported this morning that Evil Dead the game developers Boss Team Games are in the process of developing on not 1 but 2 video games based on John Carpenter's classic slasher Halloween. And speaking of Carpenter, the Horror Master is on board with at least one of the upcoming games. Details are scarce at this point, but both titles are apparently being developed in conjunction with the producers of the Halloween franchise, and one will be powered by Unreal Engine 5. As a huge gamer myself, I'm thrilled to help bring Michael Myers to life again in this game, and my hope is to scare you silly, said John Carpenter. Carpenter is said to be intimately involved with the new titles. The official releases shared by IGN this morning states that the upcoming Halloween video games will allow players to relive moments from the film and play as classic characters from one of the most iconic and important horror films of all time. The 2 new games are being developed in association with Compass International Pictures and Further Front. Quote, everyone at Boss Team Games are huge fans of horror, and Halloween obviously holds a special place in the hearts of all horror fans. Getting to work with iconic characters like Michael Myers and build on John Carpenter's original vision is literally a dream come true. Everyone at Boss Team is thrilled and honored to be working with Malik Akkad and John Carpenter to deliver a one-of-a-kind experiences that fans of the movie and video games will love. No release dates or platforms have been announced. It's been over 40 years. That's not true. As of the writing of this article, which came out on the 12th.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why they don't have the correct information here, but there's a trailer for it, and the first game comes out in October. So one of the games, there's 2 Halloween games. One of them we don't know much of anything about yet, but the other one is a side scroller, and there's a trailer for it, and it's actually it's like it goes with an Evil Dead kind of thing, but it comes out in October, this October.
Yeah, I think I found it. We can watch that as soon as this ad stops.
And it's not what I was hoping for with a Halloween game, but it actually looks pretty fun. And it's like, it's pretty complex. It's like the 2 games, these 2, like one's the Halloween, Michael Myers meets Evil Dead kind of thing. And then the other one is just Halloween, but the 2 somehow connect, like the 2 games.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty fun. But there's another Halloween game we don't know anything about yet. And I'm still hoping that we get an actual real Halloween game with a story and, like, you know.
Well, let's watch this trailer. You want to?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen it yet.
All right. Neither have I. So this is going to be first time watching. Here we go.
Rated
I've
M
just
for
seen
mature.
Clips and pictures. Retro Realms. Talk.
Yeah, this is copyright.
Talking. Copyright.
I think we got it.
That's one of the biggest copyright things you could get. Yeah, like, see? It looks like
this looks good.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's not what I was expecting at all. But yeah, look at this. So the two connect together somehow.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah. Look, you get to use the car at some point. Yeah, so those come out in October, and it's like $50 for both games, and then the two games like merged together. Like somehow you can play them together.
I can see myself playing the shit out of those games.
Same.
Like
Same.
that looks great.
Yep.
Especially playing as Michael Myers and playing as Ash. Yeah, and a side scroller.
But I am still hoping that we get a real like thought out Halloween game, you know, and not another one of these co-op things that are basically, you know, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, and you know, like the Dead by Daylight, basically. Games.
What do they call those? There's a certain term for them that I'm not remembering off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's like multiplayer things, but like I'm wanting a real like story mode, real Halloween game. We've never got one. Same with Friday the 13th. I'm like, let's get some, like, why? It makes no sense. Like, how are there these two of the biggest properties there is in horror, and we have never got like a real legit game? It's so weird to me.
What is it called? It's asymmetrical. That's what we're thinking of, is the asymmetrical format. People are pretty tired of those.
They're cool, but they're just all kind of the same thing, you know. And like the Evil Dead one, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one, and the Killer Clowns one, they were all fun. They're all really cool. But I'm like, why are we not getting like real games with real stories and like real time and energy and money put into these? It makes just no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah. So, but those that side scroller looks amazing.
Yep, it looks super fun.
Looks exciting.
Yeah. Does it have the date? I know it's coming out in October, but I don't know what the official date was. I didn't see it on the trailer, but
I didn't see it.
It comes out before Halloween for sure.
Well, anyway, so we'll be able to see that. What is our next piece of news?
We have the front room trailer.
That's right, the front room trailer. Where did I put that? The front room trailer. Sorry, entertain yourselves while I look for this. I have not seen this, so this will be the first time viewing for me for this.
Yeah, exactly, like Castlevania. Like it looks so cool because it looks like, you know, a Nintendo type of side scroller, but like, you know, smooth and, you know, better graphics and all that, but it still has that side scroller thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I found it. Let me see here. Let me share.
Game designers, but I wouldn't put it on game designers. I would put it just like what I do with movies. I put it on the studios, because there are tons of people out there that have these great ideas and want to make these games and movies and all this stuff. But if there's no money, you can't do it. And
right,
there's too many old jackasses that don't know what the fuck is going on, that run a lot of these companies.
Well, because they see something that's successful. Everybody wants to be the second to do something.
Yep.
That's what it is. Everybody wants to be the second. Nobody wants to be the first. Nobody wants to take a chance anymore. Nobody wants to, take a risk. Everybody wants to be the second. So as soon as somebody does take a risk and is successful, then everybody else is going to jump on that, which is why, we've had all those different asymmetrical games. And
exactly. As soon as the Friday the 13th one did well, then all of a sudden we had, and that's why it took a number of years before we got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre one and the Killer Clowns one, because literally they had to watch it be successful and then be like, okay, let's do that.
Right.
It's maddening. It's exactly what we see in movies. It's why you see sequels, because sequels are a way
built-in audience. Bet.
Yeah,
it's got a built-in audience. They know that people are going to come. Yeah, it's a safer bet. They know people are going to come watch it just because of the property. It's these consumers. It's like these Marvel and Star Wars stands. Just because it has a Marvel sticker and a Star Wars sticker on it, they're going to watch it. They don't care that they don't care that it's garbage. They don't care that it's literal toilet water. Like
and watch, this Halloween game will come out and it'll be successful. But instead of studios taking that to mean, hey, people will spend money on Ash versus Michael Myers and on Halloween games, right? Instead of them taking that from it, they'll be like, let's make more of these side scroller games.
Right.
Like that's so annoying.
No, I get it. All right, let's watch this trailer.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet. I've seen the first Front Rooms trailer, but this is the newest one. Make sure you got the newest one.
I got the one that was posted 10 hours ago.
Yep.
So hopefully that's the newest one. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
That's what am I doing? I'm sharing the wrong thing. Oh, here we go.
Everything is a mess. Work, this house still isn't right. What are we gonna do, Norman? Who's this?
I am his mother. I'm the problem, I'm the villain.
You want to give us everything?
We can pay off the house with that money.
If she comes to the house, we're going to be her disciples. She thinks that the Holy Spirit possesses her and gives her power.
I'm the problem, I'm the villain. You must be my Norman's Belinda. Belinda, I thought you were supposed to have more interesting names.
What is a more interesting name? She wants to replace me.
I'm the villain.
She's taking over the house.
I'm the villain. My work is in the spirit. Mommy, cast out the bad one. Belinda.
My name is Belinda. Belinda.
All right.
Get out of my house! She got what she deserved.
Let's go, I'm a kick.
Dude.
Okay. Okay.
She looks creepy.
Ah.
But I feel like there's going to be another layer to that. Like, I feel like
I hope so.
I feel like we've seen like 2/3 of it basically in that trailer. But her saying like she's got what she deserves and all that. It's like, so the old lady dies. But I feel like that might not be the end of it. I just feel like there's something more to this. I mean, it's A24. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think the music fit that trailer.
No, not at all. The first trailer sold me more on that movie.
Yeah. Okay.
The first one looks more creepy and kind of gives you more of the story.
I guess. I don't
like
know.
that. Yeah, I agree. That music was strange. Very like.
So this woman's about to die, right? And she's writing her last will and testament, and she wants to give everything to this family, but she wants to move in first.
Yeah, she's not about to die. She's just, rather than going to like an old folks home or whatever, she wants to give them all her money, but in exchange, let her live the rest of her life. Basically, live out the rest of her days with them.
And she wants to replace
her.
She wants to replace Brandy. Why?
Well, see, that's what
I guess we'll find out.
Confusing in that trailer as well. Like, she looks like she's like basically like very satanic and demonic in that first trailer. Like she's a cult type of thing more so than it showed in this trailer. This trailer made her almost look more like religious, Christianity religious, whereas that first trailer made her look more satanic. So I don't know. Yeah, and then the first trailer made her look racist as fuck.
It's racism. That's what's happening.
Yeah, this one didn't make her look racist really, but that first one, like, she's super racist.
Well,
like
they showed the certificate of the Confederacy or whatever. So you know, and according to Hollywood, all Southerners are racists. So you know, there we go.
A lot of the old ones are.
I guess. I don't know. I don't want to get into the whole Confederacy.
Dude, it's not just Southerners, man. Like I live in California and everybody in my family is in California. And I swear to God, everybody over the age of like 60, 70 are racist as fuck, dude. Like they just all try to pretend that they're not. And it's like, dude.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tired trope, right?
Yeah.
It's just a tired trope. That's the thing. It's like we can get into a whole socio-political conversation about racism, but like it's just a trope. It's a bad trope.
Yeah, it feels like it's being used too much.
Right. So
and that's my only concern with this one is it almost feels a little bit like because like it really worked when Jordan Peele did Get Out, right?
Yes.
But it's like I feel like since then, like we were just talking about, where Hollywood, they just want to regurgitate ideas. Like someone does something and, so it's almost like this is a Get Out. Like they're trying to live in that same space.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know if you're going to be able to touch Get Out with this.
No.
I mean, Get Out was so subtle in but everything.
I'm saying like,
made it so scary.
I wonder. And when I see, very predictable racism kind of thing. It's like you cast Brandy and she's married to a white man. And her old, it's like, of course she's going to be racist. So I was like, that's fine. But like, I feel like there better be a lot more than that. You can't just basically make her like a fucking Nazi and be like, that's it. That's what,
Right.
But it looks like she's just a despicable person in general. Like it's much more than just being a racist. And I hope that's the thing. It's that they don't focus solely on that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when it comes out, I guess. We will see. Wolfbane's asking if we know what happened to The Well, dropped on August 9th, not in theaters or streaming.
I don't even know what that is.
I also do not know what that is. Let me look.
But
that up.
I am frustrated by something he said there, because like there's been quite a few movies that it's like they barely get released and then they just vanish. And I think what we're seeing is streaming services snapping them up. So it's like it'll get released, and before it really has any time to be streamed or anything, Netflix buys it or Shudder buys it or someone buys it up. And so that's why they disappeared. That's my best guess, because that's what's happened with Oddity. Like it frustrates me so bad because that movie was so good and it was in theaters for 1 week. And I've been telling everybody, you need to watch this movie, but it was literally in theaters 1 week and then gone. And you can't even rent it now. And it's because it's going to be released on Shudder. And they originally were releasing it at the end of this month.
So they took it out of theaters?
Yeah, it was only in there 1 week.
I wanted to see that.
Shudder released it. I don't know.
Shudder?
No, it's not yet. And it was supposed to be released on the 25th of August. And now it's not being released on the 25th of August. And my thought is, because there's been such a huge buzz behind it, Shudder's like, hold on, we're gonna hold on to this till we're a little closer to the Halloween season, which I think is smart. I think it's very smart. So they're probably releasing it maybe next month or maybe in October.
It says The Well. It just says the distributor is World Pictures. It says it released. Exactly. I don't know where it released, but
it's not streaming anywhere, right?
Yeah, it released in Italy, I guess. But
it's not. My guess is it was bought up by someone. Yep, it was probably because like we see a lot of these movies get released at film festivals, and it's the same thing. You'll hear, a movie was, it was at Fantastic Fest, and it's like, oh, cool, I want to see that, and then it's like you don't hear nothing about it for like 2 years, and it's because someone bought it and they're waiting to release it.
It says that The Well will release September 3rd via Uncorked Entertainment. That's what it's saying.
Uncorked. So is that getting theatrical?
I don't think so. I don't think Uncorked releases things theatrically.
I've seen them on a number of things theatrically.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're usually like a co-production.
That's what it says. It says September 3rd. So we'll see. Maybe a trailer will come out. I don't know.
So I'm wondering if it was released because you said it in Italy or whatever, and then Uncorked bought it up, and now they're re-releasing it for the United States. Like, it's when it comes to foreign stuff, it's always tricky. Like, and sometimes like certain countries, it's really jacked because like in Australia, sometimes there's movies they don't get for like months after we release it, or a movie like The Sadness came out in South Korea and we didn't get it for like a whole year. But he was like, oh, talking about this movie, and it's like, fuck, dude, I can't see it. And it was Shudder bought it up and then released it the next year.
Mr. Wonderful agrees with me. I don't know what you're agreeing with me on, but thank you.
I know it's rare someone agrees with DJ.
I know, right? Somebody's with me. Let's go. So let's I want to show one more trailer because I want to talk about some indie stuff, and I'm really proud of these guys. I think you know them. A&P Films.
Well, technically we just watched a trailer for an indie movie. But
okay, but this is like super indie.
Yeah, micro.
This is like, and
micro budget indie.
I want to show it, but this is from A&P Films. And
is it
these guys
being released anywhere yet? Or
no, this is the teaser trailer that just dropped 2 days ago.
Nice.
And these guys, I don't know them personally, but I like what they're doing. And I like it because they make schlocky 80s exploitation films.
Nice.
But for today. So if you've seen Murder Size, that's their most recent film. That's on Tubi. If you've seen Murder Size, you know what you're getting from these guys. And it's been a lot of fun watching them make movies. And so I wanted to give them a shout out on this show and show their trailer. So for those of you that don't know what I'm into, this is also going to confuse you based on my critiques of other movies, because you're probably, and this is not a dig, okay? This is not a dig. You're not going to get a good story out of this movie, okay?
Yeah.
What you're going to get is what you're about to see. This is what you're going to get. So if you go into the A&P Films with the knowledge of you know what you're going to get, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun. So I want to share this. And we'll talk about it a little bit, and then we will talk about Cuckoo for the last little part of the show. We will talk about that. So, all right, so here we go. So this is a vampire horror comedy called Only Fangs.
I've heard this mentioned this week,
and we're gonna watch it. So let's here's their trailer.
So,
hello.
How's your date? In about 30 minutes. He's a really nice boy.
Remember, don't get attached.
Whoa, what the?
Oh, this looks great.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Did you get him? Yes, I got him, but then this guy saw me in the park and he got away.
What do you think?
It looks like a scrambled porno. Is that a nipple?
No, those are teeth.
We'll fucking get him. Nobody will ever hurt us again. Never again.
This reminds me of Let the Wrong One In.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's blurry,
like that same
but
level of
I
movie.
saw that creature.
Man, they got some hot women.
You like that
Damn.
shit?
Oh, I love creepy stuff. Monsters, movies, conspiracies. I love it all. Let me give you my card. If you ever need any video work,
I love it all.
just let me know. I build websites. You know, us entrepreneurs got to stick together.
You know, Scarlett had big plans for this place, but I think I messed them all up. But I think when she sees what we've done, she'll be happy.
What are we gonna do? Scarlett is a vampire. Okay? Reese, Selena, Zoe, they're all vampires.
What are you talking about? Like real vampires?
Like I'm ready.
Yes,
right.
like real
I'm ready.
He got
vampires,
get-
like fangs. Reese bit me
Did
too.
he not get turned?
Damn. You guys let those bitches bite you?
I don't know. Hopefully.
This actually looks better than a lot of the little, this level of indie.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So, what time does the drug-fueled crazy blood orgy start?
Damn good practical. Yeah, I've heard people talking about this week, so
I think it's. I mean, I wanted to give.
Going.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to those guys. The movie looks good, especially just because, like, you know what you're going to get with this, right?
Totally.
So watching that, like, you know what you're going to. You're not going to get it for the story, right? You're not going to get it for well thought out characters. You're not going to get that.
It's just silly.
Yeah,
fun.
you're going to get hot vampires murdering people, practical effects, lots of blood and gore. I mean, like, it's
like I will say, a quintessential popcorn horror movie.
Exactly. That's what it's going to be.
So popcorn and candy and just have fun.
And just have fun with it, right? Turn your brain off and watch a fun movie. Like, that's what it's going to be.
Exactly. Which is why I like Malignant.
Okay. But if you watch the trailer for Malignant, it definitely takes itself way more seriously than what this movie does. And you're saying it's
but that was part of the humor to it, though. That was part of like what it was doing.
I don't know.
Just like, for me, when it comes to types of humor, it's important that a movie knows what it is.
I agree. I agree.
Like, I thought Malignant knew that it was like making a high bar B-rated movie. So it's like a high budget, which leads right into Cuckoo, because that's exactly what Cuckoo was doing as well, was making like an art house, higher budget B-rated movie.
Every time you say art house, oh God, I just want to hit you.
But it's what it is. It's like, it's artsy. It leans into the artistic creativity and color palette. And, it's not just a simple story kind of movie.
No, it's not.
It's as much about the aesthetics and the mood as it is, if not more, than the story.
So have you seen Vivarium?
Oh yeah. Love Vivarium.
Okay. Did you get anything similar from Cuckoo and Vivarium? Yeah. Okay. Which movie
I don't
do you
feel
think
like they were
better?
the same movie.
Which movie did you think executed this specific plot and
Dude, I thought they were quite a bit different though.
No, I agree they're different.
That's tough,
especially in terms of
quite
quality.
a bit different. I don't agree at all. Like, I feel like they're just doing for something totally different. Like, because Vivarium wasn't going for the B-rated, Cuckoo was intentionally trying to be B-rated. Like, Dan Stevens' character, his dialogue, the way he's performing that role, like, it's meant to be this B-rated movie that's campy intentionally, but yet doing something super artsy and creative and like unique with the visuals and the structure, the way it's edited together.
What was creative and unique about the visuals in this movie? I think it looked exactly
Are you kidding?
I think it looked exactly like In a Violent Nature.
What?
Just a different aspect ratio with the color palettes, with the color palettes, the costumes.
The way this is edited together is like,
it's edited like,
there's so many scenes, like the car accident scene, like the way that's edited together, like you're talking about the aspect ratio. You're focusing on the way it's shot. I'm not talking about that. Like the technical stuff is not where I live. I'm talking about the mood, and like there was this really vibrantness about it that I thought was awesome because of like where it was shot and the way the costume design, and even the villain in this, which I don't want to give away, but even the villain in it, like who the villain made this villain look. What? No, you don't.
Yes, you do. As soon as you see them on screen, you're like, okay, this is the bad guy.
No, you're talking about Dan Stevens. I'm talking about the actual villain thing that's in it.
You're talking about
Like Dan Stevens is like the head honcho guy. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, yes, from the literally the very first, which is exactly what I mean by it's intentionally campy. It's intentionally B-rated. Like, because the moment you see Dan Stevens and like the way he opens that door and everything, it's so funny because you're immediately like, yep, he's the head, like the head villain. He's the brains behind this operation.
I did not get any answers in this movie. And this is my biggest problem with the movie is that they set up all of this stuff and then there's no payoff. There's no answer. There's no answer to the why. Why is he doing this? Why is the family here? What's going on? Then there's no answers at the end.
She directly asks him that question and he directly answers that question. And it's the funniest part, like the funniest line in the movie. It's in the trailer where she's like, why are we here? And he's like, because you belong here. But like, I can explain exactly.
That's not an answer. Why do they belong there? What? Well, no. Because I don't want to get into spoilers.
I know. That's what's tough. Like, I thought it was pretty clear. Like, because the main character, like the villain, not the head honcho Dan Stevens, but the villain thing in this is connected to the family.
Right. That's what we're supposed to
think. What do you
think.
mean why the family's there?
We're supposed to think that, but we don't, we have no reason to believe, or we have no connection. We have no connection to what
the
that
little
is.
Sister, dude.
Yeah, I understand. But the creep, I can't talk about this without spoiling it.
Remember what the little sister's connection is?
Yes, I know that, but we are we are led to believe that she is not. We're led to believe that she is not who she is, and there's no explanation for that. And when at the end, when the big reveal happens, and we're supposed to see how this connects to the family, it doesn't make any sense. And then
because they showed it earlier with the detective.
Huh?
They showed it earlier with the detective how it plays out. Remember when the detective talks about the scene with his wife? And that's why that one hotel room is important?
Yes. I get it.
So then I don't understand how you don't understand why the family's there.
Because no. So the mechanics of the movie, just because they're explained in that scene, the mechanics of the movie do not play out that way. They say what the rules are of this thing that they're doing.
Basically an old school B-rated monster movie is basically what it is. Like those old school sci-fi. Maybe that's why I love it and enjoyed it more so than you, is because like I don't know if you're a fan of those, but like I love the 1950s B-rated sci-fi horror movies. You know, like those they're schlocky and like kind of cheesy, but they're fun. And this had literally the story of it is exactly one of those movies. Has like artistic A24 set dressing or neon set dressing around one of those stories. And I thought that was really a fun idea.
Okay, but what was fun about this movie? It was taking itself, like it was trying to be an actual horror, scary movie. Like I didn't have fun with this. The whole time there's actual terror. Like Hunter Stevens, is that her last name? What's her I forget what her last name is.
Oh yeah. Hunter, the lead.
Hang on, I'll get it. Hunter Schafer. She acted her ass off in this movie.
Yeah, she was phenomenal.
There is terror. There is nothing fun that's going on in this movie.
Dude, there's plenty of like freaky ass moments. Like maybe the big reveal takes a lot of that away because it's more goofy. But up until that big kind of reveal, like there's some, like the scene where she's on the bike and like, you know, the car accident scene, like there's some genuinely horror scenes and elements throughout this movie.
It felt to
but
me.
But I don't think it's trying to be a scary movie though either. I think it's trying to have scary elements and scenes, but like overall, like I said, I think it's a B-rated, like one of those old 1950s sci-fi movies, like at its bone structure.
I think it was trying to do both.
It
I
was.
think it was
But,
trying
like,
to do both,
would,
but it didn't.
dude,
But it
I
didn't
would have
do
been
either
shocked.
well enough.
I would have been shocked if you said you really liked this movie, because this is very much like this is one of those, it's either you're going to really connect to it. Like I said in my review of it, I was like, you're either going to really connect to this movie and like get a kick out of it and really enjoy it, or you're absolutely not. And you're going to be like, this movie's stupid, you know, because
Yeah, but I
it
just don't
is
think-
like, but that's kind of the point. It is a kind of stupid movie. It isn't a real A to B horror movie. It's very weird and very, very kooky, which I think is like the cuckoo name. I think that's like, I'm not exactly sure what the name means, but like, I think cuckoo, at least I took it like, you know, the whole cuckoo, like that kind of element.
Well, yeah,
From
it's
the
the
name,
name of
even though it's pronounced or spelled different.
it's the name of that bird. And there's
Well,
there
it's
there
spelled different though, isn't it?
no.
Is it spelled
If
the name
you
is the bird?
if you Google the cuckoo,
Either
but the
way,
common cuckoo, like it's spelled like
yeah,
that.
but either way, like you know, that I felt the name was directly meaning like this movie is cuckoo. Like this movie is, you know, like when people say someone's cuckoo, like they mean you're a little crazy,
Right.
like you're
Yeah.
a little touching the head. And I felt directly that's what this movie was.
It's just
Which
like
is what I loved about it. So like, because to me, it's all about something unique and fresh and different. And this movie was different.
it wasn't Vivarium. This was not a fresh,
Dude,
unique, original movie.
You are always so caught up on story.
I know. Yeah, I know I am.
Like you was saying that about so many movies, dude. Like
So
when
I
you
know,
boil down
yes.
the stories,
And I'm
of
going to
so
continue.
many movies, they're
I'm going
all really based on this. Like you know the whole thing where there's only 4 different, right? It's four different stories, period, and everything is a version of that. So it's like you can always.
There's one story. Humans have been telling the same story throughout history.
No, it's not. No,
It's the
there's
hero's
4.
journey.
It's 4 different types.
There's
4
different
types of story.
There's 4 different types of stories, but they all
Yeah.
follow the same basic
Yeah,
plot structure,
yeah.
or at least they should, of the hero's
And
journey.
so where you make a movie different or a story different is with the set dressing, with the bells and whistles, like how you tell the story. So like if you're reading a story, right? If you're going to read a story to a kid, you can read it in your normal voice and just read it, right? Or you could put inflection on your voice and give it color and flavor and all that. And that is going to make that exact story totally different. 2 different people could read that exact story and it could be completely different experience as the kid sitting there listening to that, you know, nursery rhyme or that story before bed, based on the inflection and the way that story is told to you. And that's the stuff I pay attention to. And like, I feel like you pay so much attention to the story, which is fine. I'm not judging you for doing that. What I am not even judging you, but I always get on you about is that I feel like you don't pay attention to what makes the stories different.
I mean, what makes the stories different is that these are different characters, and this is a different. This is a different. I guess. Sorry, somebody's revving their engine out there.
Because it's like, okay, like Resident Evil, right? The original
Yeah.
Resident Evil, and
Yeah.
Fede Alvarez's Resident Evil. If you go on based on the story, they're pretty much the exact same story. The only thing Fede did different is the whole drug addiction element. But other than that, it's pretty much the exact same story. And yet those are absolutely different movies. And that's the stuff that I pay attention to. That's the stuff that, to me, is important in a movie, because a movie is a visual story.
Right.
If you want just a story, then you read a book.
Look, I can compliment this movie all up and down about how it looks, about how it's shot, about how the interesting ways that they do.
They go together. They go together.
I just,
It's like you take that story with these visuals, because you're right. At its core, this is a very similar story. It does have some differences, but it is a similar story to Vivarium, right? But they both are dramatically different in the visuals and the characters involved, and even the stuff that happens to them it's completely different. So like to me, yeah, they have basically the similar story, but they're totally different movies.
I understand. I just think Vivarium did this better.
But it's totally
I think
different.
Cuckoo,
It's just
I think Cuckoo is suffering from an identity crisis. That's what I said in my review, is that it doesn't know what movie it's trying to be. And so it should either be that B movie giallo type you know, horror that it is, or it should be a straight up elevated horror, if that's what you want to, if that's the term that you want to use. I know that neither of us really like that term, but if that's what you're going
that's
for,
why I use art house, because I feel like art house is more fitting, because it's like art houses, like little art houses all across the country. And forever, movies like this only got seen in those. It's amazing that now with Neon and A24, like these kind of movies are in legit. I mean, like, I feel like a lot of times we totally forget how or don't appreciate what a big deal that is, because these are literally movies that 10 years ago you would only have seen, like you will like, I still see them, like Titan or Titane, however you pronounce that. I saw that in a little art house. A lot, like tons of these movies were only seen in these little art houses that are finally now, like this year with Immaculate. I mean, these are movies that are making real money in real theaters. And like, it's amazing. It's crazy. Like, even if you don't like them, if you're a fan of the genre, like that's amazing.
Yes, that is great. That's all well and good.
But I felt like this was trying to blend those two together.
I just don't think it did a very good job of that.
That's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong. I mean, it's kind of a matter of opinion, but I don't think it had an identity crisis, because it was trying to be both. It was trying to blend together both. It was trying to take that B-rate, and I'm not arguing if it works or not. I'm saying what it was trying to do was take that old school B-rated, 1950s sci-fi story, in Bones, and put that art house, modern A24, artsy style and rapper, like that kind of acting, that level of art design, all the like creative elements that make these art house movies, just trying to put those aesthetics and wrapping around that bone structure. And that's what I liked about it, because it was trying to do something different, which I'm not saying it has to work for everyone, but that's what I appreciated about it. It's like what I was talking about with experimental stuff. Like, it's important to do experimental stuff, even if, like, I wasn't a big fan of Skinamarink, but I love what it was trying to do, because it was doing something different. That's what I mean when I say this movie is unique and doing something different.
All right. Well, if you like movies and you want to see it, if you like those movies and you're looking for movies based on that, then yeah, I guess I would recommend Cuckoo. But if you're looking for a movie with a story that makes sense, I wouldn't recommend it. Because I don't think it did.
It does make sense. It's just goofy.
It doesn't make sense. There is no sense.
It's just a very cuckoo kind of story.
Yeah, I would agree.
But it does make sense. Like,
all right. It doesn't, but we can't talk about it.
I know
now.
That's so hard.
Maybe next week or the week after, like after this movie's been out for a little bit, we can talk about more spoilery stuff. But like, that's just the only thing that sucks about this, is that it's just
okay.
Too
what
new.
is your favorite horror movie so far this year?
Dude, honestly, man, it's hard for me to say, because I was coming into 2024. I was like, all right, we got some horror movies that should be good, that, we're looking forward to. And they have not been to that level of quality that I'm looking for. So I guess
what was your favorite last year? What was your favorites from last year, or favorite?
My favorite from last year, I got to think now. It was probably not in a violent nature. That was this year. It was probably,
When Evil Lurks.
When Evil Lurks. That's it. That was probably my favorite one of last year.
Yeah.
I gotta look up. I gotta make sure that I'm not forgetting about anything, which I probably am.
Were you a fan of Evil
you know
Dead
what?
Rise?
Was I a fan of what?
Evil Dead Rise?
No, but for reasons that I understand are probably not very good. So I won't like get into that. I liked the first Evil Dead remake better.
Yeah.
I
Fede
thought,
Alvarez's version. I think most, like, if you have to compare the two, which I don't like comparing the two, because to me, like, there's a world where I love the fact that both exist,
yeah,
but like if you compare the two, Fede's version was definitely the superior
yeah,
movie. But
I
like,
would
I
agree.
love what Evil Dead was doing, or Evil Dead Rise was doing. Like the whole family connection, I loved that, and taking it to a different location. Like everybody goes all, Evil Dead can't happen if it's not in a cabin in the woods, and it's like, dude, if the
Yeah,
franchise is
no, I
going to
think it
move
can.
forward, it needs to be, you can't literally just make the same movie over and over. Otherwise, what's the point in making sequels?
So I think so. It's a toss up. It's going to be a toss up between When Evil Lurks and Thanksgiving. So I'll give the I'll give the I'll
see,
I'll give
that's
the
wild
movie,
to me.
I'll
That's
toss you a
wild to
bone
me
there.
that you liked Thanksgiving, because I loved it, but like, dude, there's story wise and writing wise, like, there's a lot of problems with that movie, but because it's so fun, like, but I mean, the way the dialogue is written, there's tons of holes in that story. But I've also seen Thanksgiving 6 times, so
Yeah, no, I get it. No one
but
likes
I
the movie.
loved it. But I loved it.
Apparently Guillermo del Toro said no
Talk
one
to
likes
Me wasn't high up for you?
Was that last year?
Yeah.
No, I guess Talk to Me was good. No, Talk to Me
'Cause
was good. But I still think my
Talk to
two
Me was like
favorites.
number 2 for me, I think.
Yeah, I still think my two favorites were Thanksgiving and
Yeah, Thanksgiving was on my list. So was Saw.
yeah,
I was
Saw
a
was
big
good.
fan of Saw.
No One Will Save You, I thought was really good. I didn't like the
Yeah.
ending, but I thought No One Will Save You was good. I want to read this quote real quick, because then we got to get out of here because we're running late.
I know, I got a
Guillermo del
movie I gotta get
Toro
to.
apparently says no one likes a movie because it makes sense. That's wrong. So why should you dislike it because it doesn't? Yeah, that's a bad quote, Guillermo.
Hold on,
Sorry.
say that again? No one likes a movie.
Apparently, Guillermo del Toro said no one likes a movie because it makes sense. So why should you dislike it because it doesn't? That's just a bad quote.
I don't know. No, I don't agree. I get what he's saying. Like, no one pays attention to the making sense part when they like a movie. Like, how many times have you heard someone say, "Man, I love that movie. It made perfect sense." You know what I mean? Like, nobody mentions that.
You're looking at him.
No, you still wouldn't say that though. Like, if you really liked a movie, you're not going to say, "I liked it because it made sense." This is where I would push back on that statement though, is it's like, you shouldn't need to say something makes sense. Like, everything should always make sense, so to speak. You know what I mean? So it's like, no one says, "Hey, remember to breathe." It's like, well,
right.
Of course you're going to breathe. So that's where I would push back, but I get what he's saying. And if it's done right, a movie not making sense can be great. It can, like, be kind of part of the charm or part of the creativity that's involved. It's just about how it's done, I think.
So here's the
Like
olive
fried
branch.
berry. Fried berry makes no fucking sense, but that is what makes that movie so fun and quirky and just wild.
So here's my olive branch to that. Cube. Right? Cube, you don't get an explanation in that movie. You don't know why. We don't know where Cube came, where Cube came from, who designed it, why these people are in there. You get you get clues, but it's never wrapped
up. But
up
at the very end, you get
at
the very end, you at least understand why everything that's been going on, why it makes sense, so to speak. Like, you don't get an explanation on how it happened or any of that, but like, it basically has this more existential, like, it's like the camera zooming out, so to speak.
What I'm trying to say is the reason why that
context, but you're also realizing there's a much bigger question and a much bigger reality than you realized.
Right.
And Dark City does the same thing.
what I'm trying to say is that just because you don't get a clear picture, you don't get a clear why, the movie's still good because it's scary, it's suspenseful, the characters are very interesting, all of the characters are very unique. There's some tropes in there, but the mystery and trying to figure out what's going on.
Tropey when it was made, though.
I understand, but
no, I'm saying a lot of people will criticize that, but it's like, dude, when it was made, you got to remember how much less of horror existed. Like those weren't exactly tropes yet. A lot of those have become tropes because of Cube, not the Embers.
Right. So the reason why Cube is good and why it's a good movie plot and character wise is because these characters are very fleshed out. They're endearing. We're attaching ourselves to these characters. We care about what happens to them. I didn't really care about what happens to the characters in Cuckoo. And I was trying to figure out the mystery. I was like trying to look for clues and figure out what's going on. And as the movie develops and you're starting to get some reasons, I'm just starting to have more questions. And I'm starting to be like, why do I care about these characters?
But I argue that's exactly the point. Like it's trying to cause that feeling in you.
I just can't accept that.
The thing about art is the whole point of it is to affect you. So to me, good art is art that affects you. It doesn't have to be like what you always see things in this little box where it's like, or not even a little box, but you always see things in like this box where it's like, this is where everything is supposed to fit. But I don't see it that way. I look at it the opposite, where everything to be good art needs to break out of that box because we've already seen everything that's in that box. So even if it isn't successful at doing a good job of breaking out of that box, as long as it's breaking out of that box, it's still successful art. And so that's my view of Cuckoo. I'm not saying it's my favorite movie. It won't be my favorite movie of the year. I'm not even sure it'll be in my top 10. Like probably not actually, but it might be once it depends. But I still think it was a successful movie. I was entertained. When I left the theater, I had questions. I was thinking about it. I was mulling it over in my head. To me, a good movie or a quality movie is a movie that I still remember. I remember things about it. I remember, you know what I mean? Like I could talk to you about this and remember most of the movie. That is a big deal because so many of these movies, like Blumhouse movies, I couldn't tell you shit.
Yeah,
like
as soon as you walk,
a week
as soon as you walk out of the theater. Yeah, no, I get it. All right,
like
we gotta wrap up.
Like Night Swim, I could tell you, like, yeah, I know I have to be at the theater in 30 minutes. So
yeah, we gotta wrap up. I just want to answer John Connor. Yes, Chud fans. I am a Chud fan. So there you go. There's gonna confuse a lot of more people out there.
That was random.
Chud are like they are not good movies, but I enjoy them. I enjoy the shit out of them.
And that's what I'm talking about is movies where it knows what it is. Chud knows what it is. It's not trying to be heady or introspective or artsy or any of that. It's just stupid fun. And like, I think sometimes it's okay to be both, to kind of be stupid fun, but trying to do it in a unique way. Either way, I get what you're saying. And I'm not saying you're wrong. It's all perspective and opinion and all that. So I'm not trying to say any of you what you think is wrong about Cuckoo. I just think that you need to lighten up a little.
All right. Well, that being said, that does it for us today and for this week. Thanks everybody.
Like I talk to people all the time. Hold on. What I say to people all the time: watch more movies.
Yeah, that's right. All right. If you have not yet subscribed to the Screaming Room, please subscribe to the Screaming Room. Thank you to all the Ghost Pirate fans that are watching us. Please watch us on the Screaming Room channel. Comment on this video after it uploads. Yep. We respond to all the comments. Grow. And help us grow. But thanks for watching, and we will see y'all next week.
Later, guys.